Namaste guys, ChristianRLong, Life Enhancement Consulting, giving you big and beautiful shout out on this Thursday afternoon. It's about 4 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time here in Denver, Colorado. And you guys typically know I jump on and do these streams in the evening, but I thought, let me mix it up a little bit, do it a couple hours earlier. Different lighting, different effect, and probably different people will jump on. So spreading the work properly and rapidly. I just had somebody come in as I was doing a healing today, a distant healing session, obviously, on a client. I had somebody knock at the door. Elizabeth, namaste. I had somebody knock at the door. Shannon Penny, bringing the heat. Knock on the door, and I was like, who's this person knocking on the door? And I know my apartment complex is doing some changes, and I thought, oh, it's probably somebody from the apartment complex. Well, come to find out, it's the locksmith. They were taking off my old, they were changing out my locks, which I thought was kind of interesting because when I moved in here about almost 15 months ago, the bottom knob or whatever, there was no lock or anything to it, so you could only use the bolt, and that was it. And as I understand it, namaste, as I understand it in the state of Colorado, that is illegal. Olga, namaste, it is illegal not to have both locks as part of the door when somebody moves into an apartment. So I'm not really too concerned about the neighborhood that I live in of somebody coming in and stealing all of my spiritual artifacts, spiritual posters, spiritual books. Not too concerned about that. It would be very weird, wouldn't it? So I want to jump on and talk with you guys today about something I hear a lot about in the world of spirituality. And by the way, the 3 topics we talk about in these live streams is energy healing, meditation, and practical spirituality. And you hear a lot about intuition, right? Intuition. You hear about it constantly, like, trust your intuition, go with your intuition. My intuition is telling me to do this. My intuition is telling me not to do that. And my question to you is, how do you know your intuition is accurate? How do you know your intuition is correct? And which intuition are you referring to? So let me explain. So intuition has different levels of truth, just like almost anything in life, right? You can take something literally, you can take something symbolically, and you can take something energetically. And Grandmaster Choa Kuk calls this levels of truth, my teacher behind me on the wall. And your lower intuition, that's your gut instinct. And the lower intuition is in the navel chakra. So right where your belly button's located, that is the lower intuition in the sense of you feel what to do or what not to do. So typically people that are in business, and a key word is successful in business, tend to have very good navel chakras, tend to be very good with their lower intuition, their gut feeling or their gut instinct. So meaning they look at 2 proposals. Proposal A, all the numbers look perfect for the deal. They look at proposal B, the numbers are not so perfect, but the intuition tells the successful business owner, I'm going to go with option B, even though the numbers don't look as well because it feels right to me. And option A, even all the numbers look amazing, it doesn't feel right to me. And they end up choosing option B, they run with option B, and option B produces a profit or is a successful business venture. Now, I know many people like that in my life who I've met over the years that they kind of just fly by the seat of their pants, and they seem to always be operating in their lower intuition, their gut instinct, and they tend to be very, very successful. A perfect example of somebody like that would be Richard Branson, who is the founder of Virgin Records, who, to the last count that I remember, has over 300 different businesses that he owns and is part of. So he's operating on a lot of lower intuition of like, that feels like a good deal, run with it. That doesn't feel like a good deal, let's not do it, or let's hold off for another 6 months or 12 months. These people are tapped into an emotional energy within the consciousness that they're doing the business dealings in. Now, have you also met people that they go with their gut, they go with their feeling, they go with their gut instinct, their lower intuition, and it constantly doesn't work out. The project fails, and they just can't seem to be successful in anything that they've done. That would be an example of somebody who has somebody who has a small, meaning underactivated navel chakra, and it's depleted of energy, or it could be blocked. So if you have a clean, healthy, strong navel chakra, your gut instinct, your lower intuition is going to be accurate most of the time, right? That's feeling. But here's a question to you guys. Are our feelings always right? Are our feelings steady as she goes? Or do our feelings vacillate? Do our feelings fluctuate? Are we positive one moment, negative the next? Enthusiastic one moment, despondent the next, right? We go up and down because the nature of the emotional body is to fluctuate, right? That's the nature of the emotional body, it's to fluctuate. So that's your lower intuition, but if you have a navel chakra that's not very clean, that's not very activated, and it's not very developed, you don't know if your feelings are wrong or right. And the way to do that, one way of doing that is getting healing on your navel. So you can hire an energy healer, a pranic healer, because that's my area of expertise. So you can clean the navel chakra, you can strengthen the navel chakra, and then the person's lower intuition or gut instinct is going to be more accurate, more on point, right? Another way of doing it is starting off very, very tiny. You can have different kinds of guessing games where you have 10 pieces of paper and they have 10 different numbers on them, and you shuffle around the paper, and then you tap into your navel chakra as you ask the question, right? You tap into the navel chakra as you ask the question, is this a number 5? Is this a number 4? And you start to feel, well, okay, this feels right. And you pick up the little piece of paper and it says a 4, and you go, aha, my lower intuition was accurate. Or you feel and you go, it doesn't feel like a 4, it feels like it could be something else. So even a little tiny example of that, instead of maybe 10 pieces of paper, start off with 3 pieces or 5 pieces of paper. And as you practice that, you're going to develop your lower intuition. Make sense? Which is based on feeling. Now, there's higher intuition. Now, higher intuition takes much, much, much more time to develop and to be accurate. So there's a chakra in our energy body called the forehead chakra, which is right on the hairline. And if you have no hair, it's about here, right? In the forehead chakra, in Kabbalah, it is called chokmah. So Kabbalah is the esoteric teachings of Judaism. So you have the religion of Judaism, and then you have the inner teachings of Judaism, which is called Kabbalah. So Erica says it takes practice, part of learning to love and trust yourself. Exactly. Good call, Erica. Clifford says, my connection stinks, but I hope you'll leave this up so I can view this later. Yes, it'll be up, as they always are. Good to have you on. My body's overcoming or recovering from a cold, so if I sound a little heavy or congested to you guys, my apologies. And I'm speaking, and when speaking, people are cording to the throat chakra to receive knowledge, so the throat chakra gets a little bit more congested, right? So forgive me while I clean as we talk. So the forehead chakra deals with wisdom. What is wisdom? Wisdom is knowing through direct perception. So you've heard of clairvoyance? People who can see subtle energies, they can see the aura, they can see the chakras, they can see the meridians or energy channels of the body, they can see angels or deities or devas. That's called clairvoyance. It takes years to develop, and it takes years to become proficient and accurate with clairvoyance. Typically, when people say that they're a high-level clairvoyant, they're not. They're not. Because to be a good, accurate clairvoyant requires humility, requires silence, requires a lot of study and understanding, right? So it's not something that you can rush. That's why there's so few true high-level clairvoyants in the world. But what they're seeing, they're instead of operating from the lower intuition, the gut instinct, the feeling, they're operating from higher intuition, which does not deal with emotions. In fact, the more emotional a clairvoyant is while they're trying to look at something clairvoyantly, the less accurate it'll be. Meaning, have you ever had a time in your life when you were so mad, you were so upset, you were so distraught that you couldn't even think clearly? Right? All of us have been there at some point in our lives, one point or another, to one degree or another. So the emotional body was so stirred up within the person that their mental body took a back seat and they couldn't even think clearly. So that's why in order to see clearly, which clairvoyance means to see clearly, in order to see clearly, to perceive a situation clearly, you need to be emotionally calm. You need to be emotionally still. The more emotionally activated, charged up you are, the less accurate your clairvoyant perception will be. And you go, well, is that just for negative emotions, or is that all kinds of emotions? That's all kinds of emotions. Have you ever heard the term before, love is blind? Right? You love somebody so much, your heart is so open, so expanded, that you don't see their character flaws, even though they're staring you right in the face. That would be an example of love is preventing you from seeing things clearly. Now, there are levels of truth to that statement that love is blind. Because yes, on one level, you can love somebody so much that you don't see their faults and you allow them to live a life of chaos, right? Because as a parent, you can love your children so much, but never discipline them, never practice severity on them, right? You're like, hey, you want to eat whatever you want? Go ahead. You want to eat junk food? Go ahead. You want to run in the street? Go ahead. What would be the consequences of that, right? So that's a level of love. But on a higher level of love, that's kind of a weird way of saying it. At a higher level of love, you're loving that person unconditionally from the crown, which very few of us are that developed to love unconditionally from the crown. So think of the great teachers and gurus throughout history. They were loving unconditionally from the crown. Does that make sense? So Shannon says, I get confused with the difference between my thoughts and gut feelings. I don't know which one to believe, so I don't get anything accomplished. Yes, exactly. Exactly. So that's why it goes back to awareness. So Grandmaster Chokokusui says, without awareness, there is no inner transformation. So Shannon's talking about, well, I don't know which one to trust. Do I trust my gut instinct or not? Do I run with it or not? So part of that deals with awareness of looking back on your life and think about the times in your life that you felt something in the pit of your stomach that it was the right thing to do. You did it, and it turned out to be successful. Like you felt it was going to be good. You did it, and it was successful. When you get that feeling again, go with it. But then think about the times in your life that you felt like, you know what? I don't think I should do this. And you do it anyways, and then you regret it. So think about those times. So there's something in pranic healing, a skill that we develop called scanning or feeling energy. So this is a very interesting tactic that pranic healers can use. And for the general public, I recommend taking level 1 pranic healing so you can learn how to scan properly. But just to plant this seed within the consciousness of the people watching tonight is that you can scan or feel the size of the navel chakra. Then you can imagine doing the choice of going with option A, scan the navel chakra. Did it get bigger? Did it get smaller? Then look at option B. Imagine you're doing option B, scan the navel. Did it get bigger or did it get smaller? If the navel chakra gets bigger with option A and it gets smaller with option B, you go with option A. More energy, right? So that's a good way of looking at it energetically speaking. Again, awareness of, in the past, when I felt a certain way and I did something, it worked out. And when I felt another way and did something, it didn't work out. I have to be aware of that. Also, one of my favorite quotes of Master Chola's is, if it's the right thing to do, do it. If it's the right thing to do, do it. So if you're looking to start a business and you believe that the product or service you're offering will add value to the lives of other people, and then there's a need in the marketplace, then do it. But if your business is going to be built on shady business practices, you're constantly going to be operating in this gray area, you're going to be getting a lot of money and not doing a lot of service or a lot of help or offering a lot of value to other people, then right there in and of itself, that's not going to be good. You're actually going against your gut instinct, your lower intuition, and you're going against your higher intuition because it's not the right thing to do. Does that make sense? So when you're doing the right thing, you're empowered. When you're doing the right things flow. Things seem clear. Things aren't fuzzy when you're doing the right thing, right? So the work that I do as an energy healer, meditation teacher, it's the right thing to do because I've seen the results in my own life, the lives of clients, and then the lives of co-disciples. So when I'm saying to people, hey, hire me for healing, hire me for spiritual coaching, hire me for the services that I provide, I'm very confident in that. I don't have any doubt. I'm not feeling like awkward about it because I know it's transformative for the people who partake in it. So I hope that brings a little bit more clarity. So again, we have lower intuition, which is based on feeling, which is based on your gut. I feel like this is the right thing to do. I feel like it's not the right thing to do. And then you have higher intuition from the forehead chakra, known as wisdom. From wisdom comes all other things. From wisdom comes all other things, which is connected to King Solomon in the Bible. He had great wisdom. He was able to see energetically, he was able to see clairvoyantly what the right thing to do was. Most people do not have that ability developed to a high degree. Why? Because their aura is dirty, their chakras are dirty, their chakras are small, their aura is small, so their ability to see clearly is greatly limited. It's kind of like if you're driving in a car, prima, namaste. If you're driving in a car and you're looking out the windshield and your windshield is covered in mud, it's going to be very difficult for you to perceive the road accurately. Foxy, long time, namaste, right? But if the windshield is spotless, it's clean, it's brand new, your ability to perceive the road will be very accurate. That's the same thing with our energy body. So through years of doing meditations, years of getting energy healing, years of studying yourself and studying other people, your windshield gets cleaner and cleaner and cleaner and cleaner. So when you perceive the world, things look very bright, look very clear, and look very obvious. Grandmaster Choa Koksui used to say, enlightenment is recognizing what's obvious. Does that make sense? By the way, enlightenment isn't an on or off switch. It's not like you're in darkness, now you're fully illuminated and enlightened being. It's a dimmer switch. It's gradual over time. Things that were once very confusing and very dark and very unknown to you become more and more perceived. Is this making sense to you guys? Are you getting value out of today's talk on gut instinct? Again, successful business people, very strong, healthy navel chakras. They may not have higher intuition. They may not operate on the higher mental levels. They could just be operating from their gut. This feels like the right deal. I'm going to go with it. This does not feel like the right deal. I'm not going to go with it. It's very still in my place today. After the healings and meditation practices, we just finished writing the newsletter. So if you're watching this on Facebook, right below this video is the weekly newsletter. And the topic today's newsletter was on law of cycle, law of change. Law of cycle, law of change. And I think you guys will enjoy it. Also, you can go to my website, ChristianRLong.com. You can sign up for the newsletter right there. We put it out once a week. You'll get it delivered directly to your inbox. And that being said, for those of you who are in need of healing, physical healing, emotional relationship healing, psychological healing, or spiritual healing, you can go to ChristianRLong.com/services and schedule a distant pranic healing session with me, and we can absolutely unequivocally assist you in your healing process and moving your life forward. And I've had the honor and blessings of doing this work for almost 15 years with people from around the world of all walks of life, religions, belief systems, ages, conditions, and all of them have improved in some way, shape, or form doing the pranic healing protocols. So, again, you just go to ChristianRLong.com/services and register for a distant healing session. We do it over Skype, Zoom, or FaceTime. What else? And that's pretty much it. I just wanted to jump on a little bit earlier than usual today, guys. Send out some love to you. If you have any questions, put it in the comment section below or direct message me on Facebook. And that's it. So I look forward to connecting with you as always. Autumn says, "You're always adding value to my life. So grateful for you. Thank you." Oh, Autumn, is that a black heart? Is that symbolic of something? Are you trying to imply something? I do like the little pink heart with the wings, but I don't think it has wings. I think it's radiating. By the way, we have chakras, right? We have chakras. We have like a crown chakra, forehead chakra, asana chakra, throat chakra, heart chakra. So do you know what angel wings are? Angel wings? Angel wings are the back heart chakras of the angel. So their back heart chakras are so expanded, it appears clairvoyantly, energetically, to be wings. So when artists are drawing angels with big wings that they see in the inner world, it's the back heart chakra of the angel. Always, I love black. Well, remember, black is the absence of light. Black is very good for shielding, which makes sense why a lot of goth teenagers wear black, because they're not very confident with their bodies at that time, with their hormones, with their belief systems. So it's a way of protecting themselves. It's a way of shielding themselves. What's up, Zach? You're late to the party, my man. Hopefully you can watch the stream later. We added lots of value, as we always try to do each and every time we jump on for, 15 or 30 minutes. And that's it, guys. So I'm going to finish up some work I have to do. May your Thursday night be blessed. May your week be blessed. May your life be blessed. Autumn says, the abyss, the feminine womb, space, grounding. Yes, it has a level of grounding. Exactly. The color black has a level of grounding, or dark brown level of grounding. If you're a spiritual person, it could help. If you're not so spiritual, it's not going to help. You want to kind of correct the imbalances. If you're very spiritual, you want things to ground you. If you're already very grounded, you want things to open you up spiritually, right? So there's not a one-size-fits-all for every person. Conversation for another stream. Love you guys very, very much. This is Christian R. Long, Life Enhancement Consultant. Atma. Namaste. Bye-bye.